The University of Iowa Fleet Services provides a variety of vehicles to faculty, staff, students, and volunteers for daily rentals covering periods of 1 day to 3 months. This tutorial will take you step by step through the process of submitting a Fleet Services requisition to reserve a vehicle. To access the form, begin by logging into Employee Self-Service. Then in the Travel section, you will see Fleet Services Requisition. This will take you to the main landing page where you can click to start a new requisition or access the different sections of the form. Click on Start a New Requisition. Throughout the new form, you will see small blue dots with a lowercase I inside the dot. If you click on one of these dots, a box will pop up with additional information about that particular section of the form. It might be a definition, examples of possible entries, or information about why a field is important. Begin by filling in the pickup and return dates and times for your trip. Please be as accurate as possible. We schedule vehicle rentals very tightly to maximize fleet efficiency and reduce costs. 30 minutes one way or the other can make a big difference to us. Next, we need to choose the pickup location. You can choose the Fleet Services main office or the self-service kiosk located in Hospital Parking Ramp 2. You can find out more information about the kiosk on the Fleet Services website. Next, fill in the purpose for your trip. It needs to describe the nature of the university business. Then we will choose the destination state and city using the drop-down menus. When you start typing the first few letters of the state or city, it will jump right to it in the list to make it easier to find. Then we will enter the estimated round-trip miles for the entire trip. Accurate mileage is necessary to get an accurate cost estimate. This is not required. If you are unsure of the mileage, you can enter 0 to proceed through the rest of the form. Fleet Services offers mid-size sedans with 5 seatbelts total, minivans with 7 seatbelts, large SUVs with 6 to 9 seatbelts, a cargo van, a pickup truck with 5 seatbelts, a 10-foot box truck with a liftgate, and an accessible van with a wheelchair ramp. At the bottom of the list you can see it says iPass K-Tag. That's to reserve just a toll transponder to use in an assigned university vehicle. For this example, we will choose a sedan. You can see that when I do that, a cost estimate pops up below. If you wanted to add an iPass or K-Tag, it will update the rate including the daily fees for the toll transponder. You can see that as I change the vehicle class, it updates the rate below so you can easily compare the cost difference between the different vehicle options. The parking department now uses license plate recognition technology for parking permits. That means that your license plate is essentially your parking permit. If the initiator selects yes from the I will leave a vehicle at Fleet Services dropdown, the initiator will have the option to choose a frequent vehicle if there are any in the list, or they will be required to enter the license plate number, license plate state, and the make of the vehicle that will be left at the Fleet Services parking lot. This will automatically create a parking permit for the vehicle for the duration of the trip. The parking information can be updated or changed by the initiator up to 24 hours before the scheduled pickup time, or the driver can update the information when the vehicle is picked up. Now it is time to add the driver or drivers to the reservation. Information regarding who is able to drive, as well as the approval process, can be found in the university's operations manual in Section 5, Chapter 15.7, entitled University Driving Policy. The primary driver will receive reservation notification emails by default and would be the only listed driver able to pick up a reservation at the self-service kiosk located in Hospital Parking Ramp 2. First, we need to click to add our primary driver. When the box pops up, you will have the option to select one of your frequent drivers if you have any in your list, or you can click to search for a driver using the search tool. Once you locate the driver you are looking for, click Select. Now that we have added a primary driver, we need to assign a demographic that fits the purpose for the trip. If you are unsure what the correct demographic is for the trip, click on the iDot to see the full definitions of each demographic. At this point, you will have the option to enter the driver's cell phone number. We would use this number to reach out if we see a driver having difficulties with the fuel card, for late vehicle pickups or returns, or if we receive a driving complaint. If you have additional drivers to add, click to add a secondary driver. The same box pops up, giving you the option to select a frequent driver or search for a driver. The form will allow you to add up to 5 drivers to any requisition. When you click the Validate and Review button at the bottom of the form, the driver statuses will display. Please address any issues before the pickup date. Next, fill in the information regarding the passengers, if any, that are being transported. This includes the total number of passengers, not including the driver, and their classification. The next section regards who will be the primary contact for the requisition. It will automatically default to the person filling out this form, but it can be changed. You also have the ability to add a secondary contact who will also be notified via email with the details of the reservation after it has been confirmed. There is a checkbox that says Opt to receive notification emails. If you click this, a reminder email will be sent to all drivers and contacts at noon the business day prior to the reservation. Now, moving on to the MFK section of the form. When you click to add an MFK, you will have the option to select one of your favorite MFKs if you have any set up, or you can enter a new MFK. When you enter the MFK, the cursor jumps to the next box automatically, and if you hit the Tab key, it will fill the field with zeros and move to the next box. When you enter an MFK that is not already saved in your favorites, it will give you the option to enter an alias to not only add the MFK to the form, but also save it in your favorite MFKs list for future use. You also have the ability to split the charges over multiple MFKs. Click the Add an MFK button, select another MFK or type 1, and add it, and then just adjust the percentages so they add up to 100. Lastly, you will have the ability to leave some additional remarks or notes about your requisition. This would be the place where you can request seats to be flattened in a minivan for extra storage, or when to start charges in circumstances where a delayed dispatch may apply. Once the form is completely filled in, you have 3 options at the bottom: Save as Draft, Validate and Review, and Submit to Workflow. When you click to Validate and Review, it will show you all of the details of your request to review before submitting. This is where you can see and review the current status of the drivers to know if there are any issues to be addressed. If you need to make a change, you can click on Return and update the form. It will take you back into the form and allow you to make any necessary changes. Once the form is completely filled in and you are satisfied, click Submit to Workflow.